Hi, this is Meteorologist Steve Pellettiere, and I am the Weatherman. Thanks for checking into weathermanpod.com on this special 8 p.m. broadcast as far as the development and continued coverage of Hurricane Milton. At 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, the eye of Hurricane Milton was located near latitude 21.9 north, longitude 90.4 west. Milton is moving towards the east at 10 miles per hour, and this general motion is expected to continue tonight right through and start to turn towards an east-northeast and then eventually a northeast direction. That'll be on Tuesday and on Wednesday. And on this forecast track, the center of Milton is forecast to move near or just to the north of the Yucatan Peninsula tonight and Tuesday, then cross into eastern Gulf of Mexico and approach the west coast of Florida Peninsula on Wednesday. Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicate that the maximum sustained winds remain near 180 miles per hour with higher gusts. Milton is potentially catastrophic Category 5 hurricane on a Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. While fluctuation in intensity is expected, Milton is forecast to remain an extremely dangerous hurricane right through landfall in Florida, expected, as we were talking earlier, Wednesday night, early Thursday. Now, the central pressure of Hurricane Milton has dropped in the eye to near record lows, and it poses an extremely serious threat to Florida, and the residents are urged to follow the orders of local officials. A lot of folks like to stay and try to maintain through some of these hurricanes, but given the history of late of all the storms, you really want to take heed to the warnings, watches, and also the orders for evacuation that will be coming over the next 48 hours. Now, the many tools that the National Hurricane Center uses down in Florida, again, it's located in Miami, and they have many guidance tools in which to use in order to forecast the track. So there are a lot of weather models that we use in order to forecast the weather. The one that's the most accurate, I would believe, for the Eastern Seaboard and for the U.S. is the GFS model. Wasn't always the most accurate, but it has become accurate of late because of all the extra effort that they have been using, especially since Superstorm Sandy was accurately forecasted by the Euro model, and the U.S. GFS model was really not that good. It actually kept the storm out to sea, where the Euro brought it right into southern New Jersey. So there has been a lot of work at the National Hurricane Center and from the National Weather Service, NOAA, to improve the U.S. weather models, and of course they are. These models come out 4 times a day. They come out at what we call 0Z, or 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Z time is a universal time. It's the time that we have as a standard all across the globe so that everybody knows what the same time. 0Z, 8 p.m. here in the East, and the next time that the models come out, or at least is run, they actually run the models at 0Z, and then by the time you get to see it, it takes about 2 or 3 hours. Now, years ago, it used to take many, many hours, almost half a day to get the output from this, and the output really wasn't as good as what it is right now, but we are seeing that it takes about a couple of hours to get this output. The latest output that came out from the GFS will probably be available at around midnight tonight, and I'll be updating you tonight a little bit past midnight as far as what that model is saying. But right now what we're using is what's called the 18Z, or the 2 p.m. run that was available at around 6 p.m. this evening, and it shows the following. The 18Z GFS model shows that the hurricane will most likely affect the Tampa-St. Pete area around Sarasota northward up to the Big Bend, and that will be occurring during the afternoon on Wednesday and Wednesday night. Making land, the eye will probably be over land at around 2 a.m. on Thursday morning, October 10th. Before that, that's when you all have the tidal surges and the tremendous winds. And, of course, with the landfall of the eye, you have the eye wall, which will have tornadoes, which will also have the highest winds in and close to the center. Once it goes over the peninsula, going probably over Orlando and then off the coast of the east coast of Florida, just south of Jacksonville, it probably will break up and probably weaken just a little bit, but still, it's only a peninsula, and it still has moisture on both the east, the Atlantic, and the west, the Gulf, and that means when it exits on the east coast of Florida, it probably will either re-intensify, and then from that point, the models are taking it further to the east, not affecting the coast of South Carolina and North Carolina. But again, it's a little bit too early to tell. That's what the latest GFS shows. A lot of folks are starting to look at these models and these output from the various sites, so the internet is really getting slow. And if you are trying to follow it yourself, be warned that there probably will be some delays, especially during the evening and when you get close to the time of the output being issued by the various agencies. So we will take a look at this and then update you again at around 2 a.m. on Tuesday morning. And, of course, you can follow that up. And I'll probably be updating it again around the middle portion of Tuesday. Each time a model comes out, probably not doing every model, but every other model run. The best runs are usually the 0Z and what we call the 12Z. So that's 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. And it takes several hours up until noontime to get the output from that. So midnight tonight and noontime on Tuesday will be the best updates on this. But right now, in summary, Milton, Category 5 hurricane around the Yucatan Peninsula, heading right for the northern tip of the peninsula, and then it's expected to head towards Tampa, St. Pete area, the west coast of Florida, north of the path of Ian, which was a direct hit on Fort Myers. This one seems to be a little bit to the north, Sarasota up to Tampa, St. Pete, and further north from there. Again, we'll have an update for you during the overnight hours. Otherwise, we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.